after next year, I'm out of it.
Look at it, like, I don't care about belts and I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about none of that.
Why not?
Yeah, I worry about getting my money and getting out of it.
Shane Mosley said Floyd Mayweather fights for money. You fucking dummy. I'm a prize fighter. That's what I'm supposed to fight for. A prize. Duh. This dumb motherfucker said he fighting because other fighters feel like they better than him. Man, you dumb motherfucker. You almost 40 years old. You better be fighting for a check, you stupid motherfucker.
Mayweather has permeated his Money Mayweather mantra into the very fabrics and essence of boxing business the day he became Money May. The effects that he has left on boxing monetarily has definitely transformed the whole essence of what boxing was into what makes the most business sense. Instead of back in the day where simply giving the fans the fight that people want to see, the best fighting the best year round, at least 3 to 4 big fights a year, his motto of money first as a fighter has now permeated and seeped through the sports to now present day in boxing. It has been the highlight of boxing in the last 10 to 5 years. Money is the priority in all boxers' careers since Floyd has retired, which hasn't even been 10 years ago. Floyd retired in 2016. Since then, fighters have been choosing their self and they have been following the game plan, extending their shelf life as long as they possibly can, which I'm not necessarily mad at. The lifespan of fighters are longer after the sport is over. They get to keep all their mental faculties, and we get to see our boxers fight for longer periods of time in their prime. They're stretching out their health, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But the difference between Floyd and what these other fighters are doing was he definitely had all of the belts in a lot of different divisions. Floyd is a multi-belt holder in several divisions. He moved up in weight several times. He's fought bigger opponents and very highly skilled opponents in his time, and he had nothing technically left to prove. But fighters are now opting out of unifying belts in certain situations.
Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen. If it was up to me,
they're opting out of fighting against other top fighters, and they're being held behind contracts that their promotional companies hide them behind. Now, what this means that the overall matchmaking in boxing in terms of go get your popcorn, friends and family for a blockbuster fight night every so often is not happening so often. This is only diminished down to about like 1 or 2 good fights a year, if that we can get. The biggest fight in boxing this year that overshadowed all boxing events of the whole year, drum roll please, was Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Let's take a minute and pause and really think. How did a Disney star, a Vine, TikTok, social media star have the biggest event in boxing? This shows you how colluded and how in a bad state boxing is right now. I don't blame people like Gervonta threatening retirement and getting his money and getting out. Boxing has officially become a shit show. Boxing has officially become a clown show. Since Floyd has left us with an all-time low in viewership and fan interest in boxing since he has retired, boxing has technically been kind of good to us since COVID, with the lightweight divisions cooking up and some heavyweight drama. This is when fighters had started stepping up, such as the Tank Garcias, the Spence versus Crawfords, the Canelo versus Bivol. Canelo was on a rampage. He was fighting a whole bunch of big fighters, Loma versus Tia, Loma versus Devin. We had a lot of big matchups in the last 5 years. A lot has been proven. However, this year we were back to a standstill. A semi-so-so year of boxing. Many fans and even fighters themselves have criticized with the state of boxing. Tank Davis is threatening retirement. Ryan Garcia is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He's currently banned from boxing due to his crazy racially charged tweets after putting Devin booty in the air. Devin on the canvas in front of millions in his cloth boots. Canelo picked on a younger Latin fighter in Berlanga instead of making a super fight with Benavidez or maybe even Crawford, even though he stated he wouldn't fight neither of them because they weren't accomplished enough and they were too much of a risk, which is contradicting in itself, because how could you be so accomplished but you're a risk? And he avoided Benavidez, saying that he was a Latin fighter, he didn't want to fight another Latin fighter, but he still went and fought a young Latin fighter in Berlanga, which is crazy. That's crazy. But we did have better BF face off with Bivol, which was a great matchup. They do have credit for that, which they do have a rematch coming up in 2025. And the runner-up for fight of the year, I would give it to Usyk versus Fury. That was a huge production, but unfortunately this didn't even shadow Tyson versus Jake Paul. My people, we have to look back at this. This is a big deal. How the hell did a Disney star have the biggest fight in boxing this year? That should have never happened. That's because boxing don't got nobody like that. The only people we got is Tank, Canelo. That's kind of it. Those is the faces of boxing right now, and boxing needs to shape up. But it's your boy Lucky. Join Lucky Boxing Club. Like, share, subscribe, all that. Take care. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.